From a robotic horse you can actually ride, to a machine that babysits the elderly. These are the insane robotic innovations that dominated IREX. And first, a robot straight out of a Hollywood blockbuster. If you've watched the movie Pacific Rim, I'm sure you thought to yourself, what if these robots were real? Well, a Japanese engineer named Ryo Yoshida took his imagination seriously and created ARCHAX.
災害復旧現場だったりとか、ゆくゆくは宇宙現場だったりというところに、要は一つの
A 4.5 meter tall robotic monster. At IREX, a pilot sat in its cockpit in front of a live crowd, grabbed the controls, and the giant came to life. Massive mechanical arms responded to every gesture, tracked across 26 degrees of freedom with terrifying precision. It is a battery-powered, fully operational, functional prototype designed by Tsubame Industries to enter the most dangerous and hazardous places on Earth. But if a giant mech suit sounds like the future, wait until you see what Kawasaki did to the concept of transportation. Horse Kawasaki revealed a rideable robotic horse at IREX, and the room genuinely couldn't process what they were looking at. Corleo crouched low to the ground, then exploded forward like a tiger stalking its prey. The demo footage showed it tearing across rough terrain with legs that adapt to every surface and responding to body steering like a horse. Kawasaki took decades of legendary motorcycle engineering and fused it with advanced legged robotics to create something that moves like a panther and rides like nothing that's ever existed before. You can already imagine search and rescue teams riding these straight into disaster zones over rubble that would destroy any wheeled vehicle. But the next innovation proves that robots aren't just strong and fast, some of them are genuinely smarter than you.
So we're kind of just showing how two robots can do different tasks to help each other out in small environments, and also just showing how fast the speed can go.
Yasukawa set up a pool table at IREX, and honestly, it looked like a cute little party trick to draw a crowd. Then the robot chalked its cue, studied the table, lined up a shot, and sank it with the kind of precision that would make professional players reconsider their career choices. Geometry, force, spin, multi-ball physics, all calculated in milliseconds. No human told it which shot to take. It just looked at the chaos on the table and knew exactly what to do. If a robot can master that level of complexity, it can handle virtually any manufacturing task on Earth. But calculating the perfect pool shot is one thing. The next innovation takes precision to a level that genuinely seems to break the laws of physics. Most industrial robots are built like linebackers, incredibly powerful, but about as gentle as a sledgehammer. Muscle Corporation looked at that entire approach and did the opposite by building a chess robot using ultra-lightweight cables.
How about a game of chess against a robot? This is the Sense robot, the chess-playing robot, no screens, no PC, so zero screen time, which I love. This runs completely offline.
Beer bottles became chess pieces, and the wire-driven system gripped glass without cracking it. Traditional heavy-duty robots simply cannot do this kind of delicate work. But cables handle objects as gently as human fingers, which blows the door wide open for medical procedures, laboratory research, and any environment where breaking something can be catastrophic. But delicate precision is just scratching the surface. Wait until you see a robot so fast it barely looks real. Another that lets you control it from anywhere in the world. And a humanoid that moves so naturally it'll make your skin crawl. Before we get to those, however, we need to talk about a food crisis that's literally threatening to starve thousands of people, and the robot that will end this disaster once and for all. Japan is running out of people, and no, that's not an exaggeration. Schools can't find workers to feed children, and nursing homes can't prepare meals for the elderly. Thousands of vulnerable people depend on food services that are on the edge of total collapse. Thankfully, MZO brought a solution to IREX, a dual-arm bento packing system that packs rice, fish, vegetables, and side dishes at industrial speed without crushing anything delicate. The system runs on dual robotic arms with sub-second reaction times and a hygienic washdown design built to meet the strictest food safety standards. While many will say it's replacing jobs, I say this is literally preventing starvation in a country where the demographic math has already broken. Speed saves lives when people need feeding. But when you need to move something that weighs more than a car, only one machine on Earth has the raw power to do it. Fanuc positioned its M2000 at IREX 2025, and without any ceremony, the massive arm reached down, grabbed a car, and lifted it into the air like it weighed absolutely nothing. This giant carries between 1,200 and 2,300 kilograms, depending on the variant, with a reach of up to 4 meters, 6-axis articulation, and a high rigidity frame engineered to absorb forces that would buckle most industrial equipment. Watching it hold a car in the air like a toy is impressive enough, but the next breakthrough removes the single biggest limitation we've always had: distance. An operator lifted his arm at IREX, and across the exhibition floor, a humanoid robot mirrored the exact same motion instantly. Every gesture translated through Noitom's teleoperation platform with precision so tight that the boundary between the human and the machine genuinely seemed to vanish. A surgeon in Tokyo could operate on a patient in a disaster zone on the other side of the planet. Engineers could repair the inside of a nuclear reactor while sitting safely in an office building. Your hands, your skill, your expertise could work through any hazard in any location without you ever being in danger. Which raises a question: if our hands can be anywhere through a robot, do we even need to physically go to work anymore? Extending human reach across oceans is remarkable, but combining that kind of physical capability with genuine machine intelligence creates something on a completely different level. Traditional industrial robots need programmers to painstakingly teach every single motion through tedious manual guidance that takes weeks of calibration. Mugen looked at that entire process and took a different approach. At IREX, their robotic arm was presented with a chaotic pile of mixed boxes, different sizes, random stacking, the kind of mess that would take a human team significant time to sort through. Then it just started working, grabbing items, calculating collision-free paths in real time, turning chaos into perfectly organized stacks without a single human programming those movements.
We can automate industrial tasks from factory automation all the way to logistics.
Mugen OS used 3D vision to understand the scene and AI to plan motions faster than conscious thought, then executed everything autonomously. This isn't Skynet, and it's not the Terminator. It's just a robot that's genuinely better at solving spatial problems than the people who built it. But autonomous warehouse robots are nothing compared to what's in the top two. I'm talking about a humanoid that moves like it has a soul, and a machine solving a national emergency in Japan. The line between science fiction and reality is about to completely disappear. Kaleido Gen 9 walked onto the IREX floor and the entire room just stopped. Not because it was impressive, but because it was unsettling. This humanoid doesn't move like a robot. It moves like something that escaped from a research lab. It swept garden debris, crouched to pick up objects, navigated uneven terrain with a fluid, natural grace that 8 generations of engineering refinement finally perfected. Every motion is smooth enough to trigger that deep, instinctive reaction in your brain that says, this thing is alive, even though you know it isn't. But if a humanoid that mirrors human movement is unsettling, the number one spot belongs to an innovation that isn't flashy at all. It's something far more important than spectacle. Right now, in Japan, there are millions of elderly people effectively trapped inside their own homes. They physically cannot navigate stairs, and there aren't nearly enough caregivers to help them. People who raised families and built careers, reduced to prisoners in their own living rooms because of a single flight of steps. Access Engineering Company looked at this national emergency and brought their solution to IREX 2025, a compact robot built to transport elderly individuals up and down stairs safely and independently. This isn't a concept or a prototype. It's a functioning machine built to give millions of people their freedom back. And that's what makes this the most important innovation at the entire expo. Not because it's the biggest or the flashiest, but because it solves a problem that's stealing dignity from real people every single day. IREX 2025 showed Japan building everything from stair-climbing caregivers to piloted robots. But across the Pacific, CES 2026 just revealed robots performing actual spine surgery and self-driving AI that finally solves the problem that killed every previous autonomous vehicle program. Click to watch the shocking AI reveals that stunned CES 2026.